Coach's Corner Cat fans, and thanks for joining me this week. And had some really nice from a couple friends about the Coach's Corner, and so I feel good about doing it. And thanks for the shout outs by a couple of my buddies. So a couple things today. We're going to talk a little bit about Kale. We're going to review Valley View, preview Clinton-Massie, and then a senior spotlight. I'm going to take approximately 2 each week till the end of the season. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about Mike here, and then I have one special shout out at the end. So let's go to the Kale report. And last time we talked, Kale was hanging on down at Miami Valley, and unfortunately, I think most of you know this, but he passed away on Thursday, basically due to the head trauma from his accident. So obviously an extremely sad event for all of us, and certainly for Jess and Marty, his parents, and his family, and everyone involved, really. So we talked to the players obviously every day, but we had some good talks with them, and one of the really difficult things is, especially when someone's so young, and it involves other things other than obviously death, but when you invest, or when you care as much as people care about Kale, and as much as we cared about him, and as much as our kids care about football and all those things, and for all of us, we have something that we really care about, and or invest in, whether that's job or family or an activity that you really enjoy. The good thing is the rewards are great when you put so much time in and effort and so much caring, but obviously the negative, the sword of that is that when things don't go well, when you lose, when you obviously this loss with Kale, it just hurts that much more. But that's how life is, and I guess that's the way we want it, with high reward and high emotion when things don't go well, and so we have this week for Kale. The viewing is tomorrow and Wednesday morning, with the funeral being at 11 o'clock in Salina on Wednesday. So after that, we'll regroup and head down to Clinton-Massie on Friday. So much love for Kale and his family, and I'm sure lots of people are still praying. So looking back to last week, after Thursday, the boys and so many of us were crushed with Kale's passing. So we regrouped, and we felt like we wanted to play Friday night, and the boys, the senior boys, felt like, we have to play this game and at least distract ourselves for a couple hours, and they did a great job of really focusing against a good Valley View team who was in our division last year and actually made it to the Final Four last year. They have since moved up to Division 4 this year, and obviously we're down at 6 now. But the game itself, we just got off to had a really good first half. Offensively, we spread the wealth. Balin Blockberger, our quarterback, who's returning this year, just had a heck of a game. We had 5 different guys score touchdowns. I didn't realize that till after the game, but that's awesome. Our two returning running backs did not score, which is kind of unusual, but they played a major role, and those are our two leading linebackers, also from last year, Cody and Miles. But so we got off to a really good start, and with the defense, having a shutout, which doesn't happen very often, especially a lot of times when we're winning by quite a bit. We put in our younger guys, and sometimes the other team will score on those guys, but not Friday night. And fortunately, we hogged the ball in the second half with our old guys for the third quarter and the young guys in the fourth quarter. So they're really probably only 10, 12 defensive plays in the second half, and they just played really well defensively. Valley View had a quarterback who was playing in his first game, and he was more of a runner and not much really. He was not a great passer. So we really got after the run and tired him out. He was playing defense and punt returning and kick returning. I think he returned 5 or 6 kickoffs, and so we got after him on that. And by the end, he was really worn out. They had some linemen playing both ways that got a little worn out, and we took advantage of that. So again, we played really well. Lots of guys got in. We like we say, we spread the wealth with, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 guys ran the ball, and like I said, 5 guys had touchdowns, and 5, 6 maybe had catches on the night. So good night for the Cavs. So 38-0, and the fans were into it, and so it was a good night for us. This week we go to Clinton-Massie, who is also Division IV, and they are in Valley View's region. So that'll be interesting if those two end up meeting down the road, possibly in the playoffs. They were a final. They were in Division IV last year in a final. I think they lost in maybe the quarterfinals of the region to Kettering-Alter, who ended up losing in the state finals. So we are going to Clinton-Massie. The game is at 7:30 and not 7, so that's a little unusual. I guess the games used to always be at 7:30, but so it's about a 2.5 hour ride on the bus. And so we did play there, I think in maybe 17 or 18, I think. We played them back-to-back years, and we split. They beat us down there, and then we came back and beat them the next year. We played them back in 2005 down at UD in the playoffs, and we had a really good game. That was our 2005 undefeated team. They were really good. And so we won that game on the way to the state title there in 2005. They're a throwback type team. Coach McSorley is an old school wishbone team, and our kids, they don't even know, most of them don't even know what wishbone is, but with the quarterback under the center and 3 backs a lot of the time, and if it's up to them, they'll run the ball almost every play, and when they do throw, they're trying to get you to think it's a run and hit home runs. And so just a good well-oiled machine on what they do. Kind of like St. Mary's, not the exact same offense, but the style is very similar. Run, and then maybe some play action, a little bit of play action pass, but just hard-nosed, tough players that will try to just wear you out and punish you. Defensively, we've seen him in basically a 4-3 defense. It's a little bit of a hybrid with one of the defensive ends always standing up, and if you throw a tight end down, they move up and walk another guy in up on the line, one of the linebackers. And so we're going to have to do a good job of mixing things up, and we may have to throw a little more than last week. We'll see. We'll see if we can keep it fairly balanced. But really good challenge for us. Unfortunately, I guess it's going to be really hot all week, and they have turf, so that makes it even warmer. But we're going to go down there and get on the bus for 2.5 hours and see what we can do, and hopefully have a good competitive game and a fun game, and hopefully come back with a victory. So that's the preview, and like I said, they're a good Division IV squad. So senior spotlight. We're going to start with obviously 2 seniors. Number 1, I'm going to go in numerical order. It's just easier for me. But number 1, Liam Davis. Liam is a football track guy. Liam plays corner and wide receiver for us. He's on all the special teams. So he obviously played all the special teams, and then got in about 15-20 plays last week, and did a good job when he was in there. He's probably more of a role kind of player at this point as far as offense and defense, but plus his special teams. And so Liam just has a really good attitude, and he enjoys his track to go along with his football. And then Aaron Kaup, number 3, is also a special teams guy, but he's also one of our starting safeties. And it's good to see Aaron play great last week. He had recorded our first sack of the year and also our first interception of the year. So that's kind of unusual. that he would make those 2 plays, and a really important part of our special teams also. Really smart guy. He is in a battle for being the valedictorian this year, so kudos to Aaron. Very conscientious student, very conscientious, mentally football guy that just kind of always does things right. And I always joke when I sub, and if he's in my class, I said, I don't know if I can help any of you, but I know Aaron can help you. So if you have a question, get with Aaron, and he'll help you out. So he had a heck of a game last week, and this is the 3rd Count brother that's played for us. So his 2 brothers were good players for us, and so Aaron's the baby. So kudos to Aaron. Spotlight, I guess a couple spotlights other than our football players. So I'm sitting here with Mike right now for I think we said 16 years, us together with or was it, I can't remember, something like that, 15, 16, 11 years, I guess, with Coach's Corner. But Mike's been doing this for 20, I think 6 or 8, 9, 29th year of doing all the highlights and the films and interviews and preseason highlights, and every week he does a highlight tape for us for our captain's meeting, and then he does his highlight tape for Cav football. And so all those things that he's done all this time, and fortunately, it's fun for him to still go to the games because he has a grandson that's a sophomore, Bennett Spriggs, and Noah Miller, who was a really good player for us a couple years ago. So he has some good insight on how we do things and what we do, and with grandsons playing, that keeps him probably more interested than if they weren't, if they hadn't been playing. So thanks Mike. And one last special shout out to Grace Wendell Bettinger. So Grace Bettinger married one of our players, Creighton, a few years ago, and Grace takes still shots for all the boys, and so at the end of the year she just has, I don't know, thousands probably of pictures, and she I don't know how it all works, but the boys can purchase those still shots, and the parents really enjoy those. So Grace was a really good friend of Kale. I don't know how it happened, but she's kind of like a big brother. Was like a big brother to Kale, and so throughout this whole ordeal, she was kind of my go-to. She was at the hospital every day, and so she was our informant, I guess, so to speak, on getting me information. Then I would spread it to the coaches and all of us involved, and people who wanted to know how things were going. And so I was worried about Grace because every day drive up. She'd work in the morning here in Coldwater, then drive up, and then drive late at night back home. And so kudos to Grace for just all her, I don't know if effort's a good word, but and her love for Kale and helping us all get through this. So we're trying to help her now as she grieves over Kale's passing. So like I said, the game is at 7:30 this week down at Clinton-Massie, and so we're going to go down and give it our best shot and see if we can come home with a victory, and then start league play with Fort Recovery next week.